Taking down Dawnslayer had bought us some more time. Without the Warlock to lead them, Advent's forces in North and South America were in chaos, giving us ample opportunity to gather resources and push forward with some of the research programs and covert operations that had previously fallen by the wayside. With both Naz and Atlas temporarily sidelined while they recovered from their battle with Dawnslayer, the techs down in the Psi Labs were focusing all of their attention on recruit Guerra. Honestly, Guerra seemed a lot more grounded than our other Psi-Lab test subjects, at least for now. I couldn't help but wonder if that would change over time as his brain was saturated with more and more alien radiation. There was also the matter of the hunter, Blightwalker. With both Mordena and Dawnslayer dead, Blightwalker had once again gone into hiding. I'll admit it wasn't the sort of behavior I had come to expect from the Chosen after dealing with Mordena's aggressive flirting and Dawnslayer's delusional ranting. Of the Chosen, Blightwalker seemed the most pragmatic. Maybe he realized he was well and truly outclassed. I was tempted to just ignore him, but after Mordena, I knew better than to let my emotions get in the way of addressing a potential threat. I checked in on the progress of our latest sweeps through Asia, and it seemed our operatives were making progress towards pinpointing Blightwalker's location, though Michaelum had suffered a minor injury after running into one of Blightwalker's many traps. Despite how he was keeping a low profile, there were growing rumors that Blightwalker was trying to put more pressure on our new allies in Asia. Like I said before, after what I had seen so far, I wasn't really worried about the Blightwalker, but I did order Green Guard and Fireball to investigate the rumors just in case. Since our weaponry development programs weren't as high a priority after Dawnslayer's defeat, I used some of our remaining supplies to upgrade a few of the facilities around the Avenger. We had once again pushed the Avenger to her limits, so I ordered our engineering team to upgrade one of our communication bays and to upgrade one of our power relays with an experimental Illyrium generator. After spending the better part of a week overseeing research and construction updates, I was about ready for some excitement. As much as I hated to admit it, I think I was starting to get a bit addicted to the rush of leading men into combat. Or, coordinating strategies from afar, anyway. I probably would have felt differently if I had actually been in any danger during our frequent field operations. It's, probably for the best if you don't repeat that to any of the men. Anyway, that's about the time that Tygan called me down to his pretentiously named Shadow Chamber. It was a bit surprising, really, given that Tygan hadn't really spent much time down there since we had finished building it. Apparently, he had been studying that mysterious black site vial in his spare time, and he had finally come to some admittedly disturbing conclusions. Bradford and Lily had already joined Tygan by the time I had arrived, and I walked right into the middle of their discussion about Tygan's latest findings. According to Tygan's research, the vial contained a dense concentration of human DNA from hundreds, perhaps even thousands of different people. It was a cross-section of humanity, all distilled into an 8-ounce beverage. I really wasn't sure what to think about it. It was certainly a very disturbing revelation. What in the world was the point of this? Was it the secret behind the fabled Advent burger, or did they have something even more sinister to hide? Lily quickly pinpointed a heavily guarded facility she believed was directly related to the processing plant we had previously raided, and Bradford jumped at the opportunity to plunder new alien technology. He insisted that we mobilize a strike team as soon as possible to investigate this new target of opportunity. As always, I had to question his motives, but I did agree with his assessment. We were going to need to follow up on this lead, sooner rather than later. I quickly ordered the Grey Shirts to finish up whatever operations they were currently involved with so we could refocus our efforts towards investigating this mysterious new facility. Our recovery teams returned to the Avenger soon afterwards, with more salvage in tow, and we began reaching out to our allies in New Australia to begin coordinating our next field op. Unfortunately, we were quickly sidetracked when Blightwalker finally decided to once again emerge from hiding. Though, as always, he struck at us through traps and proxies. I'm not sure if he had somehow found out about our current plans, but he had suddenly decided to arrange an attack on our allies in Asia, and the timing did seem rather suspicious. But regardless of the reasoning behind his renewed assault, we were contractually obligated to fly to the aid of our civilian contacts. I quickly handed out new orders. The bridge crew set course for East Asia, and a new strike team began assembling down in the hangar bay. Many of our most elite operatives were still recovering from their battle with the Dawnslayer, and I wanted to keep the others in reserve. Still, it was becoming abundantly clear that even our less experienced operatives were still quite capable in the field. With that in mind, I quickly filled out the squad with some of our less frequently deployed operatives, like Joey, Woe77, Blackbane, and Messer. I also decided to send along Recruit Varnas, who was a staple of our covert operations, but who had yet to be deployed into battle. I rounded out the team with the Hunter-Killer, Cazador, who I couldn't help but notice looked a bit different. Tygan picked up on my concerns, explaining that the changes had been made at the robot's request, though he was quick to reassure me that the changes were purely cosmetic. For some reason, I wasn't feeling very reassured. Regardless, as long as the Hunter-Killer could still differentiate between friends and foes, I guess it didn't really matter what it looked like. It was far from our most eccentric operative at this point, and even if the robot did go haywire in the middle of the operation, I had every reason to believe that the rest of the team would still get the job done.
The aliens just hit one of the resistance outposts hard. There may be survivors, but that's a best-case scenario. We're going in to secure the site. Neutralize all hostile contacts. Menace 1-5, hostile forces are attacking the outpost. Eliminate all enemy units and protect those civilians. Advent came in hot and so did we. You won't have a concealed position for deployment on this one.
Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to episode 26. Looks like we're on another Haven defense mission today, and unfortunately we don't... Oh, that was quick. Okay, looks like we've got a small pod of chrysalids to deal with. Fortunately, we should be able to take these things down without any significant difficulty. Let's go ahead and start off with a quick shot from our Spark. And now let's go ahead and have the snipers take a few pot shots. Messer can start things off with his plasma pistol, then they'll both take shots with their Gauss rifles. That's one down, just two more to go. And that's two down. Let's go ahead and start moving the rest of the squad up.
Good copy. Moving on target.
Now Joey can take a quick shot. And thankfully he's a lot more accurate this time around. Now let's move up. Oh, hey, we have another double agent. Looks like another Lancer. We'll just park him by this tree and then bring the Grenadiers up. Then we'll have Blackbane take the kill shot. Nicely done.
Enemies down. Got it covered.
It looks like we've got 3 chrysalids hiding out there. That's a bit of a pain. Oh, and they brought a gatekeeper. That might actually be a problem. Well, we'll worry about it once we're actually fighting it. For now, let's just focus on grabbing these nearby civilians. They didn't give us any overpowered resistance fighters this time. But at least they put a bunch of civilians right next to our spawn point. Oh, the combat music just started. Did we spot someone? I'm not actually seeing anyone. Okay, I guess it's... well, whatever. Let's just keep spreading out and moving towards those civilians.
Position confirmed.
We'll go ahead and bring the snipers up now too, but because they both have long watch, they'll be able to cover us from pretty much anywhere on the map.
Okay.
Six unit scanners are active.
I'm on it. Moving to Overwatch. Fire shots. On Overwatch. Affirmative. Covering now.
There goes another civilian, but there's nothing we could really do about that. I guess we just... oh, hold on. Looks like we've got an incoming chrysalid. Nice. Joey and Messer managed to put it down before it could reach us. I'm going to take a bit of a risk by sending Woe over here to grab this civilian, but then he'll come right back.
You're good to go.
Oh wait, okay, we've got two more civilians right over there, so I guess Woe can't come back just yet. I think what we're going to do is start pushing towards this elevated structure over here. We'll get our guys set up on top of it while Woe continues circling around wide to pick up those stragglers. In fact, if we get lucky enough to pick up 6 civilians, then maybe we can just camp on top of that structure. We'll have a definite advantage against the rest of the pods if we can hold an elevated sniper perch.
Heading out. Go. You're safe. Go.
Yeah, we're definitely making pretty good time here with the rescues. If I can just get Woe to grab these last 2 civilians over here, then we can just camp and wait for that gatekeeper to come to us.
Moving. Overwatch.
Sounds like a job for a turret.
Got it covered. Overwatch. Scanning a beat. I'm on it.
Whoops, okay, we've got a faceless incoming, but that shouldn't be a problem. We've got the whole squad on Overwatch. And there goes another civilian. Oh, and we've got an Advent pod on the field. Though, wow. Joey immediately took a big chunk out of the officer's health. And Woe just mowed down the officer, so that just leaves us with a faceless and a trooper. Definitely nothing to worry about. Let's start off by taking out that faceless. I don't think any of our guys can finish it off in a single shot, so we'll have the Lancer use his attack to weaken it. Then one of our operatives can take the kill shot. Oh, well, I guess there's no accounting for crits. I guess we'll focus on the trooper instead.
Okay.
Woe's definitely got a pretty bad chance to hit, but let's go for it. And there you go.
Hostiles pacified.
Now that we've got the immediate threats off the board, let's start pushing the rest of our guys up on top of this building.
Position now.
I'd also like to start pushing someone towards that loot. We've only got 2 rounds before it self-destructs. We do have that cluster of civilians there, but we'll grab them after we've secured the high ground.
Orders confirmed, on the move. Scanning.
Ah, the open spaces, the fresh air.
Headed there now. Kein Problem, boss.
Ah, dang it.
Something under the ground. Barely registered. Not even close.
Well, we just got jumped by a chrysalid. We dinged it a couple of times, but it still managed to poison Roderick. Chrysalid poison is pretty nasty because it doesn't wear off on its own. And if a soldier dies after being poisoned, then more chrysalids end up hatching from their corpse.
Bitte Feuerschutz.
Okay, there goes another civilian. And nothing else happened. Anyway, let's go ahead and move Woe up to grab another civilian. And we have to grab that loot this turn if we don't want to lose it, so I guess we'll take a chance and move Woe over there to pick it up.
Headed there now.
Not bad.
Tech guys
And that's what I was hoping to avoid. Okay, now Woe is in trouble. My big concern here is that gatekeeper is hard to hit, it's got a lot of health, and it's got a lot of armor. But if we can't take it down in a single turn, it's almost certainly going to kill Woe. I also need to heal Messer this turn before he takes any more poison damage. But first I need to prioritize taking down that gatekeeper, so let's see what we can do here. We need to start off by trimming off all of the gatekeeper's armor. Let's start off with the Hunter-Killer. I can give Cazador 3 shots this turn, and every shot will strip off armor, assuming it hits. That's 1 hit. So far, so good. Let's reload and take another.
Re-up and reload.
Nice. That's 2 hits. Now let's stop relying on the RNG and use our last action to fire off a rocket. Hold on, I think I can actually... Pretty sure I can hit all 3 of these guys. There we go. That took out all of the Gatekeeper's armor, half its health, and it put both of the Mutons on the brink of death. In fact, let's go ahead and move up one of the Grenadiers now to take out both of those Mutons in one shot.
Orders confirmed. On the move.
Actually, maybe I can... From this angle, Blackbane actually might be able to hit 2 targets with his Plasma Blaster. Yeah. That would almost certainly take out the Gatekeeper and kill the Muton behind it. But then again, if I just lob a grenade over there, I can take out both Mutons, guaranteed. So let's stick with the grenade launcher for now.
Fire in the hole!
And there we go. Now let's just have the snipers finish off the Gatekeeper. Actually, speaking of the snipers, let's take care of that poison on Roderick real quick. And instead of reloading, let's have Joey pass off a bonus attack to Blackbane. Maybe he can finish that thing off. And that'll do it. Now we can focus on moving our snipers into elevation instead.
Good copy. Moving on target. Overwatch.
Oh, and we do still have this expendable Lancer, too. He can help WoW with rounding up the rest of these civilians.
Status confirmed. We've secured a civilian contact. Look out! Bin dabei!
At this point, I think we've just got one more chrysalid on the field, so let's have WoW grab these two civilians, and then we'll have some of our guys start advancing.
Acknowledged. Multiple civilian contacts have been secured.
That thing's still probably underground somewhere, so we'll have to get close enough to draw it out.
Heading out.
And there's another faceless, too. Fortunately, we've still got a lot of actions this turn, so this shouldn't be a problem. I guess Roderick can't see it from here. That tree must be blocking his line of sight. Let's go ahead and move him a little closer.
Naturally.
Now let's go ahead and soften this thing up with a stun lancer. Then someone else can finish it off. Oh, scratch that. Looks like he killed it. No, he knocked it unconscious. Well, I guess that's convenient. I'm not sure if the game counts that as a kill. I guess we'll just reload and reposition for now.
Got it covered. Closing on target position now.
Father really outdid himself, didn't he?
Scanning.
So I can attack anything that passes by.
That thing is clearly regenerating health, too. I'm not really crazy about just leaving it there. Unfortunately, because it's unconscious, I can't actually target it with normal guns. If I want to kill it, I'm going to have to use area attacks.
Schon unterwegs.
Well, we'll start looking for that last chrysalid for now. If the battle doesn't end when we take it out, then we'll come back and finish off the faceless. Though this does remind me how much I miss being able to take live captives. I have a lot of relatively minor criticisms and complaints about XCOM 2, but one of the things I miss most is the whole live capture mechanic.
On Overwatch.
Surely there's a more difficult task available?
Affirmative. Covering noise. Zeigt euch. Starting to get cooked.
Though, speaking of nostalgia, this also reminds me of the classic XCOM games. Having to end every battle with a game of hide-and-go-seek as you
Affirmative. Moving out.
look for that one last alien who's hiding somewhere in the fog of war.
This unit is relatively agile. Sensors at maximum sensitivity.
Moving to designated position. Moving to designated coordinates. Come get some. On Overwatch. Give a fire shots. Affirmative. Covering now.
You know what? Let's just go ahead and hedge our bets. We'll take out that faceless now just to be on the safe side. It's obvious the hunter's not showing up at this point, and we're not really going to need all these explosives for one chrysalid anyway.
Get ready for a surprise!
And now that we've got that thing out of the way, let's keep pushing up. We've got to find that chrysalid eventually.
Heading to that location.
I'm as graceful as a gazelle.
Bestätigt, Überwachung läuft. Got it covered. I'm on it.
I am ever vigilant.
Hey, there it is.
I should probably move.
And there it goes.
Menace 1-5, status confirmed. We're not picking up any additional contacts. The AO is clear. Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
Good job, guys.
Again, XCOM stands against progress. Again, they assault our peacekeeping forces in the outer territories. And again, they would see the chaos and brutality of their decayed world thrust upon us. But we must remain steadfast. We must remain absolute in our purpose, for we are Advent.
I wondered how the new gear would hold up, Commander. Looks to me like it's working out just fine.
Looks like we've got a bunch of promotions. Joey will grab Revival Protocol. Woe will pick up Suppression. And Blackbane will also pick up Suppression. And Varnas will pick up Long Watch, huh? I guess I didn't even realize he didn't have that yet. Good thing it didn't actually come up. Overall, Operation Ghost Tooth had been a rousing success. Our squad, despite their relative lack of field experience, had handily neutralized the Blightwalkers' assault team. We had managed to rescue most of our civilian contacts, and our operatives had all made it back alive, though Joey and Blackbane had stayed behind to help salvage any usable goods from the remains of the Resistance camp. We had only suffered a single minor injury. Sergeant Messer had been poisoned by one of those alien spiders. It didn't seem serious, but Messer wasn't particularly happy about it. Apparently, the medical team wanted to drain out all of his blood just to make sure there weren't still any eggs floating around in his system. Or, who knows, maybe they just knew someone who really wanted a gallon of human blood. While I was certainly happy to see that Operation Ghost Tooth had been successful, I couldn't help but wonder why Blightwalker himself hadn't made an appearance during the battle. Before much longer, I had my answer. It turned out he had just used the assault as a distraction, so he could focus on trying to cut off one of our other sources of revenue. But fortunately, Green Guard and Fireball had been successful in thwarting his efforts. Most importantly, knowing that Blightwalker was otherwise occupied gave us an opening that I fully intended to exploit. For once, I was going to act on impulse. No overthinking things, no dragging my feet. I ordered the men to set course for New Australia. There were a lot of questions about exactly what Advent had planned for humanity, and it was finally time to start getting some answers.